Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Monday the 4th of December. So, before we look at the news itself, let's look at the potential risk impact today, what we've got coming up here. So, we've already seen some data out this morning looking slightly negative on the German imports-exports side of things there. Swiss inflation lower than expectation, so that's already out and about. What we're looking at then is we've got ECB speaker at 8:45 there. We've got the guard speaking at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Sorry, we've got Bank of England speaker there at 11:30 as well. So we've got a couple of other speakers. Trying to find out what they're speaking about, but they're not highlighted, so one wouldn't expect them to be too key anyway, and that's it. And then it's the Australian services, so very little due out today, so a quiet day in terms on the Western Front in terms of news wise. So let's have a look at the technicals and see where we are with those. The euro dollar, I'm looking at this and well, we're almost back to its regression sort of trend level now from well, the beginnings of this upward trend. We have the monthly pivot, just the new monthly pivot sitting just below it. That would make an ideal target, and things are looking on the softer side again here. We've got some lower highs coming through on the 4-hourly picture. It does have a weekly pivot above. I would wait as ever for the first 15 minutes, half an hour on post 8 o'clock. Now that might mean I miss this move that's potentially going to run down to its S1 even before I finish this video. So be it. The daily S1, the daily pivot's already been hit. The S1's hit. It really rules the currency out for me for the day. So we'll see what happens there post 8 o'clock, but it's not looking the cleanest to trade with. The pound's has been looking and holding up stronger. It's still sitting, well, had been sitting there pretty well. Coming off a bit this morning. At the moment, we've sort of got this almost triple top. Yep, got it right. It's just through its weekly pivot. Pivots are very pinched. It was quite a tight range last week, and what that means is these pivots we could see the R2s, S2s being hit. They're more likely to be hit just purely on the range. See it at the moment consolidating here. Things could all change, and it could push back to the upside there. The way it's been moving, it's been healthy post 8 o'clock. Would like to get on a trade on the shorter side if it's been consolidating, not at the highs there, but sort of halfway down there. Would like to try and play it down towards the prior lows at least. We'll see what happens post 8 o'clock, but that's on the potential list at the moment. US dollar yen, well, again remained strong on Friday. Just seeing a little bit of a bounce at the moment. Now we've got the weekly pivot above. That would be an ideal point for it to being hit, but it is still pretty much in its downward trend. It started, well, last week. It's come back off its pivot there and started moving off. It came back to the underside of the weekly pivot there, and it's still in that play at the moment. A little bit consolidated, potential to run up to its daily pivot here, which might make a good sell point. So we'll see how that develops during the morning, but yeah, got some potential. Got to be a bit careful not to write these currencies off, because you've seen where the euro's a bit softer for sure, but the pound and the yen's held up a bit better on Friday, and I'm just looking to see what they do this morning. Give them a bit of time. Australian dollar, again, look, on Friday pushed up nicely. It's coming off at the moment. The focus can be too much on the short time frame, whereas this big time frame is still a more significant trend versus, say, the euro. And we're seeing sort of the higher lows. We've taken out the prior highs there through the Asian session here, and it's okay coming back to its new weekly pivot here. If it can hold on that post 8 o'clock, perhaps we've got a chance of bit more of a bounce. It has just broken its daily pivot here and looking, I mean, it's selling quite strongly at the moment, but a lot of things change very quickly in the new hour. US dollar CAD, they don't always change, by the way, but it's just experience of these markets. US dollar CAD, well, again, we've got a monthly pivot untouched above there if it was to draw, but again on Friday, really solid day, really sold off there solidly, and well, we've got the potential for it to be running to the underside there. I'm certainly going to be popping that little old signal on there. So US dollar CAD potential short into that pivot if it comes off. Did it last week, it was a smidgen short, but swung short and off it went down below its S1 there. Did get a bounce towards the end, but again, as at the very end, it sold off strongly from the 34, so it's in this sort of stronger move at the moment. US dollar New Zealand, again solid, bit like the Australian dollar. There's not a lot difference between these two in terms of movement, only I'd just prefer just to trade the Aussie if I was going to trade one of them. US dollar Swissy, quite a reversal this morning, but again on Friday it was showing the strength against the US dollar there, so it's just a patience game now. It's had quite a move up here on that lower inflation this morning, so it's a reaction to the lower inflation. The expectation was higher. That's seen it soften. I'd stand up clear of that for today, but that could well just fall back in line a little. Euro yen, beautiful for trading day on Friday. Actually, it doesn't really show it as well as it was, but well, solid down day. Caught a couple of trades short on it on an auto trader, triggering. It's really solid close of the day there in the afternoon. Come off really strongly, weaker euro and stronger yen, just firing off, and it say just really clipped. Now this morning, just looking at it, well, another one. If it was to come back up to the pivots, I'd be looking to short it, but I think it might have just gone a bit too far there for now. Euro pound on the bigger scale of things, this is still moving quite nicely, and I talked about this on a swing basis last week, and well, still swinging low, still off, and a nice move up today to the pivot there. Post 8 o'clock may be an opportunity to jump aboard this for a smidgen at least. Likes the Euro Aussie, etc., all similar here, similar picture. Euro Aussie, Euro CAD. The Euro CAD I often like trading. It's gone back to Euro Aussie, excuse me. It does this, I don't know why it jumps one. Let's see if I can get back to Euro CAD, see if it'll stay there now. There you go. So Euro CAD, I tend to like the Euro CAD for its trends. It's just a nice pair when it runs. Now this is still, I mean, again last Thursday into Friday sold off really strongly here, just consolidating where it is on the shorter time frame. For me, that's well and truly on my list for today to look at post 8 o'clock, see how it goes. If we get a breakdown here, got nice distance down to its S1 there, so I'll be hanging in there, bear flag territory. We'll see how it goes. So there's a few there to have a look at, wait, see. Let's have a look at the likes of gold. So gold, well, that's a shame. What it's done there, it's flown up there, obviously taken out a bundle of sell stops, I would have thought. The resumption of fighting in Gaza, Palestine, it's probably not helped the case here at all, but it's then subsequently taken a dive back down here. Just looking at this on a weekly basis, because we've broken out these prior highs here, so it's probably hit some sell orders We'll see. It'd be interesting to see what this does as we run through the morning, because it could be on light volume there. We could get some bigger volume coming through, and we could see all change, but it's coming back down to its weekly pivot. See what it does there, if it gets a bounce or not. I know it's shooting stars, a failing bar, etc. But let's just wait and see. Oil's been having a rough old time of late. Let's get this back to a daily chart. There we go. And the end of last week, really just saw it coming back southbound again. Just not looking at all good at the moment, and it's really just a short candidate when the opportunities come. Didn't come for me on Friday. It was just dancing all around the place. Then eventually, at 3 o'clock, it sort of caught the pivot and started chopping, continued chopping sideways. It was quite late on there when it started moving off there, but we've already hit the daily pivot in S1, so I don't really fancy us too much today. Okay, that is pretty much it for those. Let's have a quick look at the S&Ps. Someone asked me to look at the waves on the S&Ps, and I started coming out here. Whenever I can't see them very clearly, is that they ain't clear. And the problem with Elliott waves is if they're clear, it's pretty obvious. Now you could look at this and say, well, that's the first wave, second wave down here, and we're in a third wave pushing up there, which it could well be. Don't like all this sort of chop in the first wave. You could then say, well, it's the first, second, and it becomes, to me, well, the third wave can't be the smallest wave, and it's pretty much looking at it that respect, and then it's just not clear waving. Clear waves to me. Now there'll be better people out there in terms of being able to read Elliott's or their perspective on Elliott's, but personally I don't think they're particularly great. They're great afterwards because you can see what they've done, but to trade with, they're not always the easiest thing, and quite often the simplest patterns within the Elliott waves, like the flags effectively, which occur, if they're simple, they become tradable. This one still looks like there's potential for the upside, basically. So we'll see what comes out of it, but on that bigger scale of things, it still looks like it's got some potential upside. We do have a weekly pivot below us, which could be a draw, of course, but if it runs it up into its R1, well, it's quite a distance above, but if we start getting into that R1 territory, sorry, this is a monthly pivot here, not weekly pivot, we could just carry on pushing. From a weekly point of view, let's just move that across a little. That's not going to make much difference. Okay, so we could get a bit of support off its weekly pivot here. It's just through its daily at the moment. Just again, need patience with this as the cash market's not open. Market's quite quiet at this stage. Looking at the DAX. So again, it's followed that same sort of route there. It's running into the previous highs here. I'm going to come out to the weekly, and you can really see what's going on here. It's got the potential taking out those previous highs there. It's had a good old time recently, and quite starting to sound like my children now, missing out words as they seem to these days. It's looking a lot more messy. There you go. Anyway, it's looking messy. I've added word. This is a bit of an each way bet, really. Still, where it's sitting, it's not a clear sign for me at all. Personally, I'd be steering clear of it. And finally, he says, let's just quickly look at Bitcoin, see what it's been doing over the weekend. It's had a bit of a time. There we go. So well and truly broken this level here, and it's actually going pretty close, if not to the targets I'd originally looked at there, but I think if not breaking it. So solid old movement. It was just a stay with. I saw people saying sell it. I know some people that tried selling it. Okay, a hedge, but don't worry. It's gone. Didn't necessarily get the little pattern I wanted on the lower time frame there. I wasn't trading it, so it didn't make a lot of difference, but I was really waiting for a little retrace, and then the break. It's sort of gone from this sort of these highs here. It's almost gone. Eventually the amount of times it's tapping up there and broken, so a real breakout trade as opposed to anything else. Right, anyway, I'll leave that there. Well done if you're in it and you've held in, and it's still, well, there's no capping out quite yet, is there? Let's just have a look at the weeklies here for you. Yeah, I mean, we've got some further upside there, potential at least, but might be a bit slow because we've got some other pivots in the way, but looking solid at the moment anyway. There we go. Well done if you took it, and you're in it, and I wish you all the best. Catch you tomorrow. Bye for now.